Hey guys.
Put it on a salad.
So listen, we're gonna try to shoot with more than one Facebook Live. Okay? So
Y'all give us grace.
yes, for sure. As soon as it pops up that I'm actually watching the video, I will try to add myself, and we'll have 2 cameras going this time so that you guys can see what Guynell's doing with the wine and what Jennifer's doing with the food, okay? So just show us grace and hang out with us. It's gonna be awesome. Hey Kim.
Start our song over.
Oh,
So
we got
have
a
new theme song, and I'm sure we are breaking
copyright
rules. So I'm gonna say everything I'm supposed to say.
Right.
I do not own the rights to this song. I just am in love with this song. It's by High Women. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, we were having this conversation with Guynell. One of my employees brought this song to me this week and said, this song reminds me of you. I had Guynell listen to it. One of her friends said this reminded them of her. So, you're going to listen while we're getting ready. It's on there.
Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Robin.
Hey, Robin. I want a house with a crowded table and a place
I just sent a request to join. See.
for it.
Oh, but look what it does.
Oh, it splits. We don't want to.
We don't want to do that, guys. We tried. We'll do it again next week. We'll figure it out.
We're gonna have to sow the seeds. You're gonna have to tell us what people are saying so I can't see it.
They're just saying hi.
Okay. Yo.
What are we making tonight?
Oh, we're making some yummy. Come here. This is Guynell. My friend Guynell.
So happy to be in the kitchen with you.
Guynell is, oh my gosh, when did we meet, Guynell?
My
Come
gosh.
close so they can see you.
I guess it's probably been like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I came to the farm and had this dish.
Really?
We had this for lunch, and we plotted and planned, and you came to Lodi, and you brought people to Lodi. So, and here we are, 6 years later. We're making the soup and talking wine.
I love this soup.
It's so fun.
Yeah. So Guynell is the rep. What is your exact title?
Region manager.
No.
Region manager for LangeTwins Winery. I manage 8 states for the family.
Wow.
However, thank you, COVID, I've been home for the first time in 10 years. I've been home a lot.
That's literally the only reason we have her in our kitchen today is because Guynell's normally on the road and in California or here or all over these 8 states. And I'm so thankful she got to come hang out with us today. Because, you know, if anybody knows me well, they will hear the words LangeTwins Wine probably within about 30 minutes of meeting me because I love their wine. And Sandpoint Wine, which is the wine that we carry as our house wine at both locations and we serve in our restaurant, comes from LangeTwins. We also take a group of amazing, wonderful 16 to 20 people to Lodi, California every year. Except for this past year, we had to cancel.
So sad.
We had to cancel because of COVID, but today we began planning stages of our trip for this year to Lodi. I know, y'all, it is the most amazing trip you will ever experience in your life. I promise you. I'm not exaggerating. Like,
We make it really fun.
in the backyard of winery owners, chef dinners, private tastings, private classes. It's unbelievable. We go Thursday to Monday. It's the perfect amount of time to get to know an amazing group of people and they not get on your nerves. By the time we get home Monday, it's great.
always love that, like, everybody comes together as strangers and then everybody leaves as friends. So it's always such a fun experience to be able to spend time with everybody.
It totally is.
Indeed.
Absolutely. So, a couple things we're going to do tonight. I'm going to show you how to make our Italian chicken soup, okay? This is a recipe that I kind of took from a book that I read about, it's got to be 8 years ago. I read this book, and I'm going to share it with y'all because you all should read this book, okay? I better put it up straight. This is The Secrets of People Who Never Get Sick, okay? This is not a paid advertisement. This is just a great book that I found about 8 years ago. In fact, I think someone gave it to me. Love it. After reading this book, towards the back of the book, one of the chapters is about homemade chicken soup and how good it really is for you. The recipe in this book calls for it's very specific about a whole entire bag of carrots, a whole bag of celery, a whole onion, like 10 cloves of garlic. I mean, it is fortified spinach or kale. Okay, so you're doing a lot of heavy vegetation in this soup recipe. And then you do fresh chicken that we've deboned. Thank you, Ricky. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. He deboned some chicken for me. So, but I'm gonna go through this soup recipe with you. I took that soup recipe and I tweaked it some because, you know, I can't just leave anything well enough alone, and put an Italian twist on it. Gave it some Italian seasonings and herbs, put a little cream in it because that's kind of what I like to do.
Everything's better with cream.
A little bit of cream and a little bit of Parmesan, and we're good to go. So what I've done and what I want to show you really quickly is this, like I said a minute ago, I have, looky here.
The magic of television.
This is magic of television. So this is literally a whole bag of carrots, one whole onion, a white onion, a whole entire bunch of celery, every part of the celery, throw it all in there. This is also I put 8 cloves of garlic in here, minced. And then I did probably about 8 new potatoes, okay? Did not skin them, peel them. You leave the skins on. They're great for you, okay? All I did was chop all of that up, okay? So I will. Now, here's the thing. I'm just seeing that someone is asking for the recipe. If you will go to Old Quail Run Farm, our website. I couldn't think, okay? And on the website, you click on the blog, and you go through and you read down through the blogs. You got to go to the next page, click next or more blogs, and you go back. And I did a blog on this recipe a couple of years ago. It is such a good recipe. So, all right, but right now I'm telling you, it is healthy, I promise. So all these veggies, what I did is put a half a stick of butter, that's it, in there, and I sauteed these veggies. They've been sauteing for about 20 minutes. You want to get them a little bit soft, okay? And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my chicken stock in, okay? Right now I'm putting a good 2.5 cups of chicken stock in, okay? I'm going to go add a little bit more water. Guynell's going to get that for me.
Nice.
Fill that back up, 2 more cups. So I'm going to put 4, because this is a big pot. I'm going to show you in a second this little pot that I pre-made for us to eat on in just a minute. And that's half of what the stock amount that I did. But I kind of did almost the same amount of veggies just because it's so good for you. So, yeah.
I actually have a picture of this recipe in my phone.
Oh, cool.
because I love this recipe. I make it.
Come up so they can see
I
you.
make it. I put it in freezer bags. I keep it in my freezer so when I don't feel good or when it's super cold like today, it's easy to just put it in a low simmer and just to warm it back up. And I mean, really, it was a very memorable lunch that day.
Oh, I love that.
And we, you know, the recipe, the food, and then obviously the friendship. So it was a great day.
So I'm putting the lid on that, and I'm going to let that simmer for about 20 minutes. And I want those veggies to cook down well, okay? Then, so meanwhile, we are going to talk about wine, and then I'm going to show you the final steps after those veggies cook down. We're going to add some spinach, some fresh parsley, and the yumminess of whipping cream and Parmesan at the end, okay? You don't want to put those things in now. You want all of those root vegetables to cook down well, okay? And then we're going to add the rest of the yumminess that gives it its wonderful flavor, okay? So Guynell, though, is going to tell us about all the newest, most wonderful wines from LangeTwins, and I'm so excited.
I know. So we are really excited because we recently were awarded some really prestigious awards through Wine Enthusiast, and so these wines are all available at Bon Appetit, y'all, of course. And Jennifer has been a huge supporter not only of LangeTwins but our Sandpoint line, and we also produce the caricature wine for those of you who are fans of caricature. Just for point of reference, we are a family-owned and operated winery located in Lodi, California, about 30 miles south of Sacramento, so east of Napa. So those of you who always think about Napa, Sonoma, we're a little bit east. Lodi is actually the largest grape growing district in the state of California. So that's what we love about having Jennifer and her group come out, just so that people can see a new experience and experience Lodi. So the Langs have been a farm family since the 1800s. Yeah, that was a little bit ago. And it is a generational family. The twins, there are twins. Brad and Randy are the Lang twins. So that is where the name comes from. There was a 9-member family. So the twins, their wives, and their children are who make up the winery operation. So we have some of those family members operate the winery side of the business, and some are on the vineyard side of the business. So we really are all about sustainability, and we grow everything on our estate. And I think this is one of the reasons why Jennifer and I hit it off so well with these wines, is because she's such a firm believer of farm to table, and this is a fabulous accompaniment because this is truly farm to the bottle. I mean, we really, even with our single vineyard wines, we have so much information on the back of the cloning, the plantings, the harvesting. There's even digitized soil on the labels, and it's vineyard specific. So not only is it coming from the Lang estate, but it's vineyard specific to the Red Tail Vineyard or to the Prince Vineyard or the 100 Vineyard, whichever vineyard it's coming from. So truly we do respect the land, and we want to showcase that when you're drinking our wines in the bottle. So as I mentioned, we recently got some really cool scores. I know that you've had the rosé on the list for a while.
Yes.
So our 2019 Sangiovese rosé, which is, I think, one of the perfect rosés, especially for Texas. It's great with Mexican food.
Summer rosé.
It's perfect with Mexican food. It's perfect with barbecue. It's perfect to just sit out on a gorgeous patio and enjoy the beautiful spring or summer day. So this is our Sangiovese rosé, recently a 90-point winning wine for those of you who are interested. And then, like I said, we've done some single vineyard wines. So the one that I showed you just a minute ago from the Red Tail Vineyard, this is actually an Italian varietal. Here we are doing a Tuscan spin on a chicken soup. So this is Nero d'Avola, and my redneck way of explaining this is that it's the Italian Pinot. So it's light, it's fruity, it's going to go with soup, but it's going to go with a beautiful charcuterie board, or it's going to go great with barbecue, whatever. So that is a new wine.
How many points?
That's a 90-pointer as
90
well.
points.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you can't come to Lodi without talking about Zinfandel.
No.
And you guys got to see some of those like super gnarly,
Yes.
ugly, old vines.
But they're
And
beautiful. They're so cool.
yeah, as I look out today, it kind of looks like an old Zen vineyard,
It
where it's like
does.
kind of
The
foggy and yeah, or whatever. But so this is our 2017 Old Vine Zinfandel. This one was also a 90-point winning wine. This is the wine that you want anytime you're grilling. If you're having steak, if you're having barbecue, if you're having grilled sausages, whatever you've got going on the grill, I think this wine is perfect for that. So this is Old Vine Zin, but Lodi is known for Zinfandel. But as you can see, I'm showing you some other varietals. We grow 27 different wine varietals at our winery. Another wine that I brought tonight that we tasted was our Petite Syrah, and this is that teeth stainer.
Yeah. But it actually, I think, is besides the Centennial. This is my favorite.
Oh,
It's
I
so
mean,
good.
this wine is so yummy. This is definitely your cooking a ribeye steak, and you. Okay, sorry, this is not open on person.
Oh no!
So the Petite Syrah, this is coming from our 100 vineyard. This one was 91 points with Wine Enthusiasts, but also we had a really prestigious award at the Houston Rodeo. And for those of you who keep up with wine competition, that one is pretty prestigious here in Texas, and it was a reserve champion at that rodeo. This is the end of this vintage. We do still have some, so we're gonna move some down for you guys to enjoy here in the Sherman area. But Petite Syrah, again, fantastic for grilling, big party. Joe Lang, he always talks about the Petite Syrah being the one you drink with friends because everybody's teeth is gonna be purple, and so you all look the same. So it's not out of a horror movie or anything. Last but not least is our Centennial Zin, again, because we're talking about Zinfandels. This is really a special wine not only for LangeTwins, but for our region, because this vineyard is about 116 years old. And the farmer who works this is in his upper 80s. And it's been a joint partnership with the twins and with the Lewis family to produce this wine. And this is our 2014 vintage. It's the 106th vintage from that particular vineyard.
Wow.
And this one was 93 points. So really, really special wine. We were talking about just some different ways to enjoy it. If you're a cigar lover, this is a great cigar wine, ribeye steaks, those kind of things.
Yeah.
But just a really special, unique style of Zinfandel. So there you go.
Awesome.
I knew it was coming. So anyway, so lots of wines to choose from. I need to drink water.
Yeah, we love LangeTwins wine because of the family aspect of the winery and the sustainability and the practices that they use to grow, produce, and create such amazing wines. It really made me so happy when we went out the very first time, like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I think we went 5 years ago, just Ricky and I, to meet everyone.
Yeah.
And kind of figure out the logistics of Lodi, and just fell in love with Randy and Shar, and the way that they produce wine just is so special. So we have all of these wines at Bon Appetit, y'all, in Sherman and in Pottsboro. So, and they're on our menu for the restaurant. So many ways to try them, and many, many different varietals within the line. So we hope that you will look up LangeTwins Wine, learn a little bit more about them. One of the things that I learned, that I heard Randy say many, many years ago, that made me so happy, and is what I truly firmly believe, is that wine is made to pair with food. And I truly believe that. And it makes me so happy to open a bottle of wine and pair it specifically with specific food, and make that food and that wine experience elevate a little bit more, because you've made a perfect partnering. So that's what I love about the Langs. So thank you, Guynell, for the little synopsis.
Sorry,
all of
I
the wine.
I I haven't done a wine tasting live in so long. It's like, okay, I'm like,
She needs a drink of water.
I'm totally out of practice on that.
So, okay, so when Guynell came here 6 years ago, I made this soup for her because I love this soup, and this is literally one of those things that I do out of love. It is, of course, food to me is love and showing love. And when I had Guynell coming, that was probably my third time to be around you because we had met a couple different places.
Times before. Yep.
And she was coming to my home for the first time, coming to the farm. And my way of showing love is giving you comfort food. And this is a 100% comfort food to me, in the fact that it really is healthy. It is good for you. It's going to bring healing to your body. And it's perfect on a cold, cold winter day like we have today. So, all right. So what we did, once again, I'm going to go down really quickly. I chopped up an entire bag of carrots. And I know some of y'all are going, really? That's a lot of carrots.
Good for
It's
you.
good for you.
And
They're
your eyes.
They're good for your eyes.
Good for your eyes. See better.
I obviously need them. So a whole bag of carrots, a whole thing of celery, chop it up, an entire onion, okay? And then 8 to 10 cloves of garlic. That's a lot of garlic, but I promise you it balances well against all of those veggies. It is not too much garlic. Do not panic and think, oh my gosh, this is way too much garlic. Yeah, and that's just the veggies.
I know, but it just smells delicious. Look at this piping hot.
I know. So our veggies have been on a high simmer. They've kind of been boiling to get those. Oh, sorry. And I did 8 to 10 new potatoes. No skinning, no peeling. I just quartered them, cut them into cubes, and put them in there, okay? So you don't have a gluten in this soup. It's not a chicken noodle soup. That's one of the things I changed about it. I put potatoes in here, that root vegetable, to keep it healthy, okay? So no noodles. So the potatoes are in there. Those have boiled down now for about 15 to 20 minutes. And I put chicken stock in there, not water, okay? So even if you have to buy chicken bouillon or chicken stock from the grocery store, condensed, that you add water to, do that. If not, if you do have the pleasure of cooking your own chicken, you're going to pull the juice from that chicken. Even if you're baking the chicken, literally pour the juices off of that pan into your stock bowl and then add water to it. And that's all you need to do, okay? All right. So we have all our vegetables in there. They have cooked down. I have chopped up fresh parsley. We talked about fresh herbs last week out of the garden. If you can do that, you always want to do that. But the very next step to this recipe is adding in your deboned chicken, okay? Now, I do have the pleasure this week of using smoked chicken that Ricky cooked for us this week.
I know. I can't
So
forget
good.
my order.
I know.
I knew I was coming this week. I was like, I need some smoked chicken.
Yeah.
So good.
And so because I love Guynell, I told her when I knew she was coming, I said, well, how about if we debone the chickens for you
Cheers to
and
that.
put them in a bag and have them ready, because she throws the deboned chicken in the freezer and pulls out a bag when she wants to cook something.
Yep.
So that's what I'm doing with this. We deboned actually 6 chickens in these 2 bags. So I'm taking a little bit out of this bag, but it's not really your chicken. I'm not taking out yours. You got a whole nother go bag.
Okay,
too.
Okay, good.
So literally this bag was 3 chickens, okay? And I put part of it in the first bowl that we're gonna eat immediately, and I'm gonna put the next section in there. So, but it's 1 small chicken. Either you can get a roasted chicken from the grocery store, debone it. You can cook your own chicken off. You can roast it in the fridge yourself. Or you can call Bon Appetit, y'all, and get one of Ricky's smoked chickens, which is going to give this really good flavor, okay? So I'm literally like pinching off half of what I got in here, and I'm going to dump it in here, okay? And you know, I honestly like to keep the chicken a little chunky and in big pieces. So just like the potatoes and all of that sort of thing, I do not cut them down teeny tiny. All right. So we put that chicken in there, and I'm putting, look how much spinach. Look at all this spinach. This is probably right now, I would say 5 cups of spinach. Because, and we talked about this with the pasta recipe last week, spinach shrinks down so much, but it's so good for you if you'll put fresh spinach in your recipes, okay? So we're going to throw this in there, and it's going to just shrink way down, okay?
It's a great way to get your kids, great way to get your kids to eat spinach. My kids don't, because I didn't forever, but if you put it in these recipes, like a lasagna, or you can kind of hide it because it does bake down.
Yes, we put it in our
to
lasagna
almost
too.
nothing.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
But you're still getting the nutrients,
The nutrients
that you
from it.
need. The heat does cook off some of the nutrients, yes, but not all of them. You don't have to eat everything raw to get nutrients from it. Okay?
So here's the next thing. And it will tell you specific on the recipe on the website in the blog. But I literally, because this pot was half the amount that I'm cooking in this pot, I probably put just like a cup in the small pot. I'm going to put about 1.5 cups in this pot. I do it by I do it by side because I don't want it to be real heavy. That literally was right about 1.5 cups. And then here's the thing. Y'all know, if you watch and if you listen to me, you know I'm not a proponent of
Processed,
pre-shredded
cheese.
Shredded cheese, maybe.
You not shred your own cheese,
I
y'all.
do not like pre-shredded cheese. In this recipe, I do love to throw me a little bit of grated Parmesan and Romano cheese in there because it gives it a good little Italian flavor, okay? So literally, I want you to do like, I'm going to say 1/3 cup. A third cup of Parmesan for this big, huge bowl. Now,
Salt cellar.
I'm going to,
That's called.
that's my
Yes.
salt cellar.
I love those things, y'all. I got one.
I
So
got-
cute.
I love it.
Do you have one too?
Yes, I have one for pepper and for
I
salt.
do too.
Salt
I love
cellar.
pepper. I like grinding.
Well, I get the
I just thought
restaurant
they were cute.
grind
Yeah.
where it's like the quarter grind.
Yes.
And so I use
Oh, that's
what I
good.
use.
That's good.
But I do have a grinder too, but when I'm cooking, I'll just throw in that coarse ground.
So,
And I'm
y'all,
love pepper.
listen, I know there are some things that you're like, whatever, ground pepper, salt from a cellar.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It does.
It does matter.
Quality
It matters,
ingredients.
doesn't it?
Yes, you want quality ingredients.
You want good for you.
And it's just the best way. When you
It
buy
matters.
what's fresh and what looks good at the grocery or the farmer's market, it really does make a difference.
It does make a difference.
It does
I've
make a difference.
started growing my own lettuce and I had broccoli and it just tastes different.
Yeah.
It's like so super fresh and delicious.
People, I promise, you will be happy with the results and how different it is, okay? So, salt and pepper. I've got a little bit of
About
herb
pinch.
de Provence, which is an Italian mix of dried herbs, okay? Because my herb garden is pitiful right now because we are in freezing cold weather, okay?
It's gonna snow, but that's a whole another story.
Yeah, whole nother story.
So,
I'm like, there's frost on my windshield.
Trying to get home.
if y'all can see my garden right now, like, it's embarrassing. There are still pumpkins sitting out there in the middle of my garden. I kid you not.
But you had kale.
I have kale. I have my rosemary has made it.
Yeah.
My cabbage heads have done the whole whoop and
Yeah.
flowered up. They're pitiful. It's awful. Okay, and that is the reality of working 80 hours a week.
I was trying to say.
Yeah.
So
You're not tending to your garden full
yeah,
time.
I'm not tending. Do you know what I wrote down on my goal list? I've written on my goal list every single day. And when I say goal list, here's the thing, y'all. How many of y'all do like a beginning of the year
Resolution.
what I
or
don't believe in
something.
this,
I don't
whatever.
know.
Right.
Do a
Yeah.
word.
Accomplishment.
Yeah.
Things you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So about 4 years ago, I started every day when I'm having my quiet time, I write between 5 and 10 things that I'm thankful for. I write them down. And then I write 10 things that I've already made happen.
Nice.
I
That
love
I've
that.
already made happen.
Nice.
I haven't
So
really.
make you feel like you.
I haven't really made them happen yet, but I'm going to make them happen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
But then that
So-
just makes you feel like you're getting it done.
Yeah.
And you're
Well,
motivated.
you're visualizing.
And you're motivated.
Yeah.
Motivated.
So one of the things that's on my list, you want to know?
Yes.
I'm revealing a lot about myself.
To work in your garden.
Well, one of the
That's
things
where
that
we
my,
started.
Yeah.
Just thought. Don't
one of
know.
the things that my husband laughs about my list is I write down that I want to work a 40-hour week.
Oh, well,
But
wouldn't that be
it
I
will
would know if she would
someday
know what to
when I
do with
become a
40 hours.
grandma, I will work a 40-hour week.
That's right.
40.
You will be. It'll be April 40th.
I will be able to-
She will not be working a 40-hour week when she becomes a
No, I'm
grandmother.
workaholic. It's okay. But here's the other thing that's on my list that I have made happen and I'm gonna make happen
Right.
is a huge flower garden.
Yes.
Huge.
Nice.
Like
So
the
that we can go
whole,
out there and clip and make
Yeah.
literally,
arrangements.
like
Take
I
them-
want.
Take your flower arranging to a whole nother level.
Yes.
I love
I
it.
want like
Wildflowers.
I want like a whole acre
like
of wildflowers.
Is it called cutting garden or something?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, a whole acre of just wildflowers
Love it.
that I can just walk in and do arrangements
Love
with
that.
for the
I
farm
wanna do
table
that.
dinners. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it to be haphazard. I'm not talking about an English garden
No,
or
right.
Yeah.
Just throw it out there and go.
yeah. So, but
Okay, this will
here's
smell
my fresh parsley going in.
The smoked chicken smells delicious.
I know it does make a difference, y'all. And fresh parsley, we talked about this last week. It makes a difference. Okay.
The
So
fresher, the better.
it's done. That's it. Now it's gonna simmer like this one did for a good, I don't know. I mean, you'll be good to go literally in like 30 minutes, okay? Just because it's better if all of those flavors simmer together and your spinach cooks down and
Is it one of those like it'll be better tomorrow too? Like
oh, it
it's
totally
the next
is.
day
Yeah,
kind of
I
thing.
mean,
Like the
that's-
longer it sits.
That's why when I put it in
Absolutely.
the freezer, like, and I reheat it, I'm like, ooh, and this
So
little
good.
deeper flavor
Yes.
and good stuff.
Yes.
Toast my goats. Let me see if this is too hot. I'm gonna show you.
You're
Yeah,
gonna take it
show
off.
Big slice of crusty
Here, I got
bread.
it. Oh,
You're good.
I brought crostini's home.
See,
See, I like
You're-
crostinis.
you're good.
Look, so here's my small pot. Okay. Look at that.
Look,
delicious.
it's piping hot.
Look
Yes.
at that.
You can probably see the steam.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just a little creamy.
When we need smell-o-vision.
Yeah, y'all do need smell-o-vision. Okay, so whole bag of carrots. Oh, I am like blind. The light is
Yeah,
blinding.
yeah, you gotta go.
Okay.
Here. It's okay.
Here we're good. A whole bag of carrots, a whole onion, a whole bag of celery. Okay, or like one big old stalk. Okay. 8 to 10 cloves of garlic and 8 to 10 new potatoes, small potatoes, creamer potatoes, whatever you've got on hand that you're not going to peel or de-skin or anything. You're just going to cut them up and put them in there.
Nutrients is in the skin.
It really is. Okay. So you're going to put all of those vegetables in there. You're going to put a half a stick of butter in just to give a little bit of fat in the bottom of that pan. And you're going to saute those vegetables for about 15 minutes or so. Okay. With the lid on. You're going to pull the lid off. And you are then going to add a deboned chicken. Okay, a whole chicken. Get all that chicken in there. It's good. If you have cooked your own chicken, you're going to put your own broth in there, which is super wonderfully nutrient for you. And but if you haven't, you're going to make some chicken stock from chicken bouillon or chicken stock from the grocery. Add water. Put it in there. Okay. You are going to boil that on a low simmer. You don't want to like rapid boil it for about 20 minutes. You're going to turn it down to low simmer. You're going to add your spinach. Okay. You're going to add your, y'all help me. Oh my goodness. Parmesan cheese. You're going to add your cream, parsley, fresh parsley. And then you're going to put your lid on and let it just low simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. This, I promise you, is the best chicken soup you'll ever eat in your life. It is incredible. It does smell fabulous. Oh, and your herb de Provence, or if you have rosemary, basil, all of those yummy Italian herbs in your garden, this time of year you're not going to. I put herb de Provence in there, which is a great little mixture of Italian seasonings, herbs. It was dried. And then your fresh parsley, okay? That is it. You're going to let that simmer. And so, in total, this meal it does take a little longer than the last 2 weeks. But this one, literally, I mean, seriously.
But I mean, you could put it on and then like
Your cooking times is what kills you.
Yeah, but you
The prep is super easy.
Exactly.
Prep is super easy.
Just have it simmering before everybody gets there.
Yeah.
And throw the pot open and start eating.
And it goes wonderfully, I can promise you, with
The
Nero Diablo, okay, which is kind of like an Italian Pinot Noir. All right, it is so super yummy. It'll go great with that
That's
wine.
the redneck version.
Yeah.
You know, I did grow up in Ballston.
Exactly. Yeah, she grew up in Ballston. All right. You who want to know where I got the beginnings of this healthy recipe, and then I kind of fattened it up and Italianed it up, is
Still healthy though.
it's still healthy. Okay, cream is okay for you in small doses. So the secrets of people who never get sick. I highly recommend this book. I am not getting any kind of, what do you call it, endorsements or royalties or anything or kickbacks from this book.
Yeah.
I just read it and I think it's a great book. FYI, for those of you watching, we are going to do a really cool book club thing with LangeTwins Wine and an amazing book that y'all are going to love. So stay tuned for that, okay? So, how many minutes did we make this meal? How long have we been on here?
We've been on for maybe
32.
Yeah.
Look, we almost did it exactly 30. We're getting better. 32 minutes. So, all right.
We even talked about wine.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Check.
We made a meal and we drank wine. It was
And we
great.
just two cameras. Okay.
And it didn't work.
But
But it's
that's
okay. We'll figure it out next time,
There's two
okay?
people in the kitchen.
That's
That's
right.
right.
And on one camera.
And look, we're all wearing the exact same thing.
Not the same.
Well, it's like sprockets. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like, this is Italian sprockets when we dance.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, y'all. Thank you so
Thanks,
much
guys.
for joining us for Wine and Water and live at 5:30. So from now on, it's going to be 5:30, okay?
Thanks
So-
for letting me come and crash the party.
Karen Treadway says, looking beautiful as ever, Guynell.
Thanks, Karen. See you.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye. So that's Philip's sister.